So we have 5 games to preview right now. We're going to get to them all, but let's kick off. We're looking at game 1 right now. It's the Dragons and the Raiders. They're playing in front of a home crowd as they take on the Raiders. The Dragons obviously playing at home. Their last performance, when you look on paper, only 5 errors. They completed at 92%, but still it was a 30-0 score line. There's got to be a lot of positives that come out of that, because I mean, Coach Jamie Soward came out and basically said he wasn't disappointed with the girls, a little bit with a one-on-one tackle. You know what it's like coming up against those Roosters girls. How hard is it to defend on that line?
Absolutely. Well, we saw a lot of Isabel Kellys and outside centres hitting the holes on the soft shoulders on the outside, really close to the line. That's always a massive threat. I mean, coming up against Isabel Kelly one-on-one is hard enough without her being on good momentum and field placement. So I think that they really targeted Racine and the outside and the centres. So
knowing Sowie, how is he going to change that coming into that game?
Oh, he adapts straight away. Yeah. So he will be looking at those videos. You will know exactly what he wants out of you for the next run. He's obviously made a lot of changes, and he's playing the type of game that he wants to play against the Raiders. So he sets you up for success.
Yep.
You just have to go out there and execute what he's asking of you.
Yeah, otherwise you're in big trouble. Yeah.
Big trouble. And I back it. What he asks of you is what will win you a game.
Yeah. All right, well, that makes perfect sense. Over to the Raiders. They took a nice scalp in the win over the West Tigers last week, but a few lapses in judgment almost let them back into the game, something they will need to tidy up, obviously going into this team hunting their first win as well too. So, you're looking at that team list right now. As I said, bit of a lapse, but put a great game on, very gritty. This is a game away from home for them where they've had some good success. How do you see them taking on Dragons?
I think this one's going to be a clash. Dragons are obviously going to up the intensity. It is a home game for them. They're a very proud team with a great fan base, and Raiders are going to give them a really good run for their money.
Yeah.
You can see that they are really sharp at the moment. Their defence is on. They know how to keep the momentum throughout the entire game. And you can see some of their new players like Sophie Hollyman are building really, really well. Their work rate is so high. They're starting to make very minimal mistakes. So we're going to see this team peaking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Saturday features a doubleheader at Langlands Park in Brisbane, and the first of the 2 games sees the Cowboys taking on the West Tigers. Both sides are coming off a loss last week, but let's have a look at the Cowboys first. Their defence was under the microscope in the previous week. They made quite a few changes. What impact will that have on their side coming into this game when you look at this team?
There's changes to the halves as well.
Yeah.
So the defence was bad in patches.
Yeah.
And at other moments, it was outstanding.
Yeah, like a wall.
Yeah, exactly. Sarah Koroy, she came out with some massive hits. And so, yeah, I think it's just another building block for a brand new team.
Yep.
And they'll get a roll on, still finding their feet. So many changes every week still.
Yep.
No one's found their complete starting lineup yet with minimal interchanges.
Yeah.
So we're in that building block space, but I think they're doing a great job. Seeing people like China Polata going from the wing into the middle and back out to the wing, it's showing that there is a lot of confidence from the coach and the players to do jobs that are big asks of them, and that there's a lot of agility in the players.
I was going to say versatility there as well too is amazing.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's check out the next side. Discipline also hurt the West Tigers a little bit last week, as did a number of injuries. A lot of teams are copping a few injuries at the moment. The shining light is one of the girls that you were speaking about last week as well too in Tafunga.
Oh yes, Leanne.
Yeah.
She's just coming out firing, isn't she?
Yeah.
It's like pretty much 2 tries every game, but the way that she is shutting people down in her defence is what's changing the game for the Tigers as well. Her defensive reads and her confidence to go and shut down is really gone to the next level. And I know she's been kind of a step behind players like Isabel Kelly and Jessica Surges, having come from the development side of the Roosters. So she's just taking her opportunity and shining, and also maybe it's given her more hunger. Who knows? But she's going for it and it's displaying really well. Yeah,
I mean, Bo Vetty Welsh was one of the players that was under injury as well too.
Correct.
Yes, so she's out for this game.
She is out for this game. I'm not entirely sure. I saw that they had put Pauline Pilier-Resabale in the back, but who knows how it's all going to kind of pan out. They've got a lot of versatility in players. I'd love to see Jakaya Whitfield at the back there. Give her space. She's so tricky to catch.
Right.
Maybe that's the next level for her because she's absolutely owning the wing position at the moment. But I think that the West Tigers are good at bouncing back. I know we got that question for the NRLW, the Cowboys, but I do think the West Tigers have their foundational stuff and really down pat, but the way that they build in a game is solid. You know, they don't take off and get too far ahead of themselves. Their foundations are really good, so they are builders within the game, which will play out well.
The second game of the doubleheader at Langlands Park sees the Broncos host the Eels. We turn to the Broncos first. They look like they returned to the form that we've kind of been accustomed to seeing them in the past. And one has won the premierships in the past.
Yeah, or is that form all on Millie? 4 tries. She did amazing. And I know that I said a couple of weeks ago that what I wanted to see out of the Broncos is her flying in her position, which she completely did. It was her birthday, so it's like a double whammy. Vibes are really high, but I can see Gail Broughton really settling into the game. She is putting her edge into really good spaces. Yeah, they're developing really well, and I do see them coming back to old form. Yeah,
and we saw a little bit less frustration from Brigginshaw and Broughton in that game as well too, and it was kind of like a calmer unit.
Yeah, it was a calmer unit, and like things get so crazy on the field, and it's really hard to keep your head. And Ali is very experienced, we all know, so she knows how to bring us back down to that level-headed kind of game. I think she's coming into that now.
Yeah, perfect. Great time to do it. All right, to the Eels, Shani, I know you can speak firsthand to this one. The injuries have absolutely ravaged you guys across the park, including yourself. Add to that, you've now got a tough away trip. It's a real test of character how you girls are going to be able to gel in this week coming into this game.
Yes, and again, if we go back to the amount of adversity we've had throughout the season, I wouldn't say that we've actually taken a step back. We just haven't really broken through that glass ceiling yet, which can still happen. And we have Elsie Albert and Rachel returning, which is massive. Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. To have a really experienced half on the field is crucial. And we haven't had that yet. Our young halves have been doing a great job, but it is just crucial to have experience there, which is going to be the game changer. Suspension as well has sort of come into your gameplay as well with Kennedy Cherrington coming out of the side. What impact is she going to take away by not being on the field, and you know her replacement as well? Yeah, huge. Well, Kennedy Cherrington gets through so much work. Her run stats and her defensive stats kind of make up a quarter of the game, you could even say. But I also think that the girls that are going out there this weekend are really going to want to be doing it for Kennedy as well. It's really unfortunate how the whole tackle situation unravelled. LaShawn, thankfully, is absolutely fine. So, you know, that's the first priority. And I will say that Kennedy had no malice in her actual tackle. I believe that when you are under the pump, when you're gassed, you have no spatial awareness, you don't really know what you're doing sometimes, and unfortunately that can end up in a really dangerous situation for somebody. But thankfully Sean's great, and we're going to get around Kennedy knowing the awesome person she is, the good person that she is, and we're going to move forward. All right, well we'll do that exactly right now. We're going to head to Sunday afternoon as it begins at PointsBet Stadium in the Shire for the Sharks and Roosters. The Sharks are coming off an unlucky loss last week. They were missing a bit of their strike power, but in the positive side, we see Jada Taylor back in their lineup. Yep, we do see Jada Taylor back in their lineup, which is going to be exciting. I thought that Annie Robinson has been doing an exceptional job. She got herself a try. She's really been stepping up to the challenge. It's been quite physical. Playing the Titans is physical. So I think Annie Robinson did a great job. They've also got Holly Wheeler returning, who came back last week off an injury, and it was quite early for her suspected return date, and she did amazing. Didn't miss a beat. To be coming back, returning to the game in the middle, it's hard. It's already hard. The pace is already set. She played big minutes. It was a big physical game. So did amazing. So congratulations, Holly, and welcome back, Jada.
Yeah, beautiful. All right, well, let's have a look at the Sydney Roosters. They blew the Dragons off the pass last week. They showed that they are still well and truly in the competition, which there was a couple of little stumbles, as to be expected when you're a new form side. But what do you make of this side at the moment and their performance coming off the back of last week?
I think they're going to have a lot of confidence off last week. They had a couple of debutants or young players in the left side second row. 2 girls got through, had outstanding tries. They're just like, that is impressive to see. Young, physical, great body sizes. Being able to run at that second row position is really exciting. So I think Strangey giving them a run in that game is going to build confidence for them later on in the season. They're going to come out strong. And they always do. Frizzard's on fire. She's scoring tries through the middle. Bridie Parker on the left-hand side has got herself a try. So they'll be coming off high vibes. And
that, as you've said in previous, in the previews, you said Isabel Kelly is one of the hardest to handle in the field as well.
I'd say she is. And she's playing a different kind of game this year, it looks like it. Usually she's a player that you go to on the last tackle and she just makes magic happen. But this time it's like a shared responsibility. She's actually got opportunity to play a little bit of footy, not just run hard and try and barnstorm over to the try line.
All right, on to the final game of the round, and it sees the top of the table clash between the Knights and Titans at McDonald Jones Stadiums. To the Knight first, and I know this one may be a bit of a sore point because we just discussed it a little bit earlier, but it was a big bounce back for them, and I guess, where were they so hard to handle?
Oh, well, Tamika Upton is always hard to handle, but they had the return of Hannah Southwell. She gives a lot of leadership in the middle, and it's not necessarily doing a lot of work, but it's giving a lot of guidance. She allows you to do your job because she's doing hers, and that is a massive thing when you're in the middle. So I think that we struggled with that. They've obviously got really strong middles. Pridwan as well. She's incredible. I rate her so highly. Just such good centre of gravity, balance, and can really dig in when needed in a game in defence. So they're strong. Through the middle is going to be the hard spot, I think.
Okay. All right. Well, the Gold Coast Titans still maintain the undefeated title after hanging on to a tight win last round. They did so without Chapman and Bass. What's most impressed you, I guess, about this next man up or next woman up mentality when it comes to the Titans?
Look, what's impressing me is that they can go almost an entire game head to head and then just fall slightly behind, and then they can come out and win. Like, that takes a lot of grit and guts, and to have that kind of mentality goes a very, very long way. The game's not done until it's done. So they have like full game completion on their mind, which is a great place to start.
Well, I mean, this game looks like the blockbuster of the round, without sort of throwing any shade on any of the other games. Where do you see this 1-1? Like, I know you set up through the middles, but...
Well, I guess it is actually going to be a battle of the middles because, as we've spoken about before, Shannon Marto, she's on fire, and so is Jessica Alliston. If we're looking at mobility between them, both of their forward packs are very agile. Speed to burn, know how to ball play as well. A lot of smarts in there. So, like you said, the blockbuster, I think this is going to be a really good game to watch.
Well, thank you so much for joining us this week. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Sorry I was so pushy.
I don't know if I'll be back next week.
She definitely will. All right, real highlights, unreal action. It's all about to get real this NRLW Premiership season. Experience all the power on the field and the passion in the stands as the growing rivalries become epic contests. NRLW Women's Telstra Premiership is back for 2023. Secure your seats now at nrl.com/tickets.